Hey, Phil here. A little bit more about this $120 Squier that I bought earlier this evening. I've got to say that I'm really impressed with the guitar from what I've seen. And in an earlier video, I said that the only difference between this Squier and another Squier was the backplate. I can't really speak to that for certain because the only other Tele Squier that I've owned was an Affinity. And in fact, I've owned several Squiers and they've all been Affinities. This one is it's a standard series Squier, and I don't know all of the differences, but here are some things that I noticed. First of all, I took this thing apart. I took the neck off, I took off the pick guard, even took off the control plate so that I could get under it to clean it, took off the bridge, just so I could do a deep cleaning. And one of the things I noticed was that the body, I was expecting to be plywood. I was, and it's not. And I should have known that when it was I should have known that when I first picked it up and it seemed a little heavier. Another thing that I noticed was that it's got 22 frets. Now, most Mexican Strats that I've owned have been 21 frets, and I didn't get a 22 fret guitar by Fender until I got an American. This one has 22. Which is kind of nice because if you're playing a song that requires you get up this far, it's nice to have that 22nd fret. When you look at the saddles, I don't know if those are original saddles, but they seem really nice. And the other Tele that I owned that was a Squier, it was sort of a top loader. The strings, you loaded them from the top of the bridge, and this one actually has strings that go through the body. Now, if you look at them, they're not perfectly straight, so I don't know if that was done after the fact. I don't know if that was something someone did after they bought the guitar or not. But those are just a few features that this guitar has that I've got to say I really like. The neck it's really fast. It almost feels like it's been sanded and smoothed. Your hand just glides up the back when you play. The only problem that I really have with Squiers, really, is the tuning machines. I've had several Squiers, and the tuning machines, they just don't hold the tune very well. They don't hold the string very well in place, and I replace them, and then it's fine. So I may end up doing that with these because it has the typical Squier tuners. But they seem okay. I mean, it's hard to tell. Only time will tell. We'll wait till the strings get broken in and see how well the guitar holds its tune. But I've got to say, I'm really impressed with the quality of this $120 guitar. I don't know if it's the fact that it's a standard series versus Affinity. I don't know if it's the fact that it was made in 2002 or if it's the fact that it's crafted in Indonesia. I don't know what, or if it's a combination of these different factors. I don't know if anything on this is aftermarket, but I do know that I kind of like this guitar, and I look forward to playing with it. So it's easy to get hung up on the names. I like Fender. I like Fender guitars. I like Gibson. I don't have one. I have a few Epiphones. Couple things to remember, though. The Squiers, they are licensed by Fender. They have to meet a certain level of quality of construction. And granted, sometimes you get them home and they don't play right. A lot of times it's just a matter of a good setup. As far as Epiphone, well, Les Paul, he worked for Epiphone. Look it up. And again, the Epiphone guitars, even though some of them were crafted overseas, they have to meet with a certain level, a standard level of construction. So when you're looking for guitars, don't just look at the name on the headstock. Try them out, and you may be pleasantly surprised. Hey, have a good day. This is Phil. Take care.